Hello everybody and welcome to Studying the Masters with Alicia Dianne Art. I am Alicia Dianne. We're going to continue working on the illustration we've been working on for a few weeks now. It's called Sulwe. The name of the book is Sulwe and the illustrator is Vashti Harrison. The book is by Lupita Nyong'o, the very famous Kenyan actress, and we're going to get to it. It's a fun illustration, and I'm going to open up my window just a little bit more so we can get some more light. Bit. Yeah, a little bit of light. I think that helps. But go ahead and follow along with me, or if you like, you can observe and just kind of take notes if that helps you, or just kind of see what tricks and tools that we're learning from the illustration that you can bring into your own work. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera. Is this correct? Okay, so now we have our illustration. Very nice. This is how far we've gotten so far. I'm gonna fit the screen so we have a nice clear image. My doggie is right behind me, or right underneath me, so I'm trying to fix my chair so I don't run over her little nose or anything. We missed last Friday. Let me take a sip. Because I was actually rehearsing for sorry, I needed that sip of coffee. I was rehearsing for a dance that I was performing with my dance group over the weekend, which is like for a belly dancing festival out here in Los Angeles. So that was called Cairo Shimmy Quake. So that was a lot of fun. The dance went well. And now we're back to work. So let's go ahead and get this. So I have that little bit of color in my hair too. It's a temporary color. It's like a pinkish purpley color. It's supposed to be pink, but it looks more purple, but oh well. All right, so let's see. Let me see where my layers, what my layers are doing. So this is where I have the girl. Oh, I see. I turned off the sketch. I think I'm going to start adding some detail to that dresser, because it looks like we didn't get to that yet. And let's see, what else do I want to add stuff to? And I definitely got to start adding texture, because it looks like we're doing pretty good. We just need a lot of like detail. A lot of the flatting is already done. So let's see what we can do. Let's see. So maybe what I'll do with the maybe what I'll do to start adding detail to that dresser is first let me find what layer it's on. Okay. And is all of the other, alright, so it looks like I did all of the color right there on the same layer. So alright, so let's see what that looks like. I have my reference open, and I'm just going to start adding some things. So let's see, I think I want to start, where is my horizontal lasso? Polygonal lasso. Why was I saying horizontal? I don't know. And I wonder if I should take down the sketch opacity just a little bit so I can see this better. You know what, let's go here. Alright, so good, it's already on the alpha lock, so I don't have to worry too much about, let's see, I might even just turn that sketch, it feels like it's just getting in the way, so maybe I'll just turn that off. Let's see. It was just kind of blocking me from what I was trying to see, so I think I'll leave that off and grab a brush. I want a chalky brush now. So I'm just going to go ahead and start adding some texture. Let's see. This one was a nice one. This one is probably the angle that I need right now though. It's really big though, so let me turn that down. I'll take this color and I'll just darken it just a bit and see how I like this. That's really not as transparent really as I want it to be, but maybe, let's see. Is it going past? It shouldn't be going past where I have, cancel. It shouldn't be going past this, but it is. Why is it doing that? It's supposed to be on alpha lock, right? But maybe it's not on alpha lock. Alright, so I'm gonna undo that because it's not locking how I want it to. Alright, so now it's on alpha lock. So I wonder, oh, it's just a transparent background. You see, that's what I get, like, now it looks like it's not painting at all. Something's amiss. Am I on the right thing? Let's see. And it's not coloring. I thought it was on alpha lock. Oh, so there's something else going on. I don't know what it is. Am I on the wrong layer? Doesn't look like it. Or maybe I just have this the exact same color. No wonder. Oh gosh, I swear I'm getting too old. Okay, let's see how this is. And it is on alpha lock now. Good. All right. Well, that's better. Maybe I just want to make it a little bit lighter. What about the opacity? So I'm feeling like I'm not sure if I have the right color I want. Let's go ahead and change brushes. I think I want to try this one. Let's see. And maybe let's try getting a little bit lighter and see. And maybe a little bit more yellow. Let's try this out. Not that yellow. More red than that. Alright, let's try this out. That feels a little bit more like it. Right now I really just want to get some texture going so that it's not so flat like it was. Or like it is. Alright, I'm going to get that medium brown. Alright, it's not the exact texture though, but you know what, I'm going to keep moving and see what I can add. So I'm going to take this off. We have a start to a detail on the cabinet. And what I want to do is go ahead and get to the other side, just like the chicken. They across the road. I know I'm starting to do mom jokes at this point. Alright, so let's go ahead. I swear, I've been talking about this for a long time. I really want like some nice royalty-free music to play in the background so I have like some ambiance, because I want some ambiance, but I'm too afraid of, like, you know, YouTube kicking my butt off for using somebody else's music. So if I can find like some royalty-free music, if anybody knows like of like longer tracks or like something that I can just play for like an hour straight. That's just like, you know, not too heavy or anything, just something like to give me a little bit of a vibe, something to vibe off of, you know. I never typically, or not for any extended period of time on my own, will like draw with no sound. I like I like there being some kind of sound going on, you know. So this is like towards the darker area, so I'm gonna let that be. And maybe I just need to take the opacity down because it's way too, it just comes off too dark, too full. I'm wondering how to manage that. Yeah. I don't like that. Maybe it does need to be 100%. Whatever it's doing, I didn't like that. Right, let me make it bigger. It can be tricky, like trying to find the right balance. Obviously, painting digitally is not just as straightforward as some people might think it is. At least that's not my experience with it. Alright, let's go lighter. And I think now we can start to add the other brush. Maybe. Let's see. That's much nicer. I just like the way this brush moves better. The flow is just feels more smooth. Maybe it's all about the brushes, really. That feels so much smoother though. Can you feel that? I feel that. Alright. Let's try what brush I have. Let's see, is this the one that I'm looking for? I think I'm looking for a lighter one. But this brush is like, I don't know, it's smoother for some reason. Alright. And maybe I'll go like a bit darker still in the corner. Feels a little better. I might have talked about it in the other video, but I'm doing my Setting the Masters today on Thursday instead of my normal date, which would be Fridays, because tomorrow's my son's birthday. Yeah, so that's pretty special and a big deal. So I wanted to make sure that I had that day nice and free. No overlapping things I need to do. Alright, and this is like, let me see, maybe I should do it in English. Oops, it's not that good. There's like a edge, there's a name for that very edge of a corner when it's the brightest on an object, and I don't know what that name is, but probably look it up. Alright, so maybe it's a little bit even brighter on some parts. Let's see. Not quite that bright. maybe I'll take the size down. You know what, maybe I'll start from the bottom because it looks like it gets, you see, and then it gets thicker. I don't understand. Why is it? Oh, because it's on the angle, I think. Is that, why is it? Let's see. Just keep it on the edge. I don't know if that will work, but I can give it a try. Alright. Let's see. And there's also the little drawers. So let's see. I'm going to deselect that. And let's see, for where the drawers are starting, are they further in? There's somewhere around here. Maybe I'll do it on a new layer just in case. Alright, and so how many drawers? Let's see. I'm going to erase parts so it can kind of start to plug in where the rest of the drawer will be. And from here, I'll just use this polygonal tool to fill in the rest. Alright. Is that too straight? Yeah. It should be a little bit angled down. That's not what I meant. All right. I think I can work with this. I feel like the top might not be as angled as it needs to be, so I might need to change the top because I'm just kind of trying to flow with the top at the same time, but I'm noticing the top is not angled exactly, so I might change that as we go, but right now let's just work with what we got. Alright, so let's see. Because they're kind of like their own, and then I could probably just copy and paste. They're like their own elements, so I want to be able to give them that. Because they, you know, extend out from the cabinet, they don't. Let's see. Now it's just like trying to make it feel believable. And even in this corner, I think we can go a little lighter. And then there's like a little handle. A lot of people always call at the wrong time. And it's always like some fake call are like, you know, those it's called, it gets on my ID, it says charity call. I don't know what that means. I just think it's like a spam call, which surely it is. So I copied that drawer and I'm just like moving it down. So I have a duplicate. Alright. Why does the angle feel more weird when it's further down? Probably because I still need to fix that that top edge. So let's try an aligned drawers. And I think the first one, this one will be a little bit longer. So let me get one a little bigger. You know how like the top drawer is usually smaller and then I get bigger. So there's that, and I might change it a little bit. So let me do an alpha lock on this one. It's up here. And I'm going to change the top because it's further away from that shadow, so I don't think it will have that much shadow on the top. Like there will be lighter. You know what I'm saying? And then over here, it's a little bit lighter as well. Alright. And I think I'm use a different type of brown for that. Alright. Okay. Let's see. Alright, so we have this. I'm going to take this lock off. And what am I going to do? I'm going to copy this. Bring it down. Don't worry, there's a method to my madness. I feel like I'm getting there. Take this down. I would use just my arrow, but I don't want it to get, well, let me see. There is that nice little handy thing they have. Yeah, they have that in Photoshop now, so that's handy. I'll bring it down just a little bit more, and I'll copy it one more time. And I'll bring that down a little bit more. Okay, a little bit more. Alright, and what I'm going to do is fix these little lines here. Longer. What I can do with this one, a little bit longer, I think. No, I'll just do the pencil. I was going to try and just manually, or do it with the, and it didn't work. And what I can do, let's see, let me merge these. And now I can come in individually. I think I can I turn the bed off? The bed is on the same, let's see, where's the bed? Is this, I can't find where the, oh, there's the bed. Alright, so like, whoa. Now I can really see how messed up my drawers are, but maybe I still have a chance. How come these are so much more at the wrong angle than the other ones? I don't understand that. Am I still on my drawer layer? You see, this is why I got a D in perspective. I mean, that perspective book helped me a little bit for, but I feel like I have so much more that I'm like struggling with. Oops. All right. Option. Okay, so let me see if I can adjust these. I'm gonna write layer squinty. Alright, so can I fix them? Let's see. Kind of. Alright. And if I move these, let's see. Try and align that a little bit better. That feels okay. Alright, so good. And let's go back to this layer. And the in-between, I want to make it a little bit darker. So let's grab that color and a brush. And I want to make it a little bit darker. Why does my arrow look like that? I don't know what button it is in Photoshop that makes it do that, but I hate when it does that. And it's escape or something? I don't know. Not quite that dark. I just want it to be a little bit of shadow to cast underneath the drawer or in between the drawers. All right, better. And maybe, let's see, because now I can't even see the size of the brush. So I don't know why, have no idea what does that, but I don't like that. Those who are listening in Photoshop, please, please remove that feature. I know it's like changeable, but I don't know how. Alright. I need to fix this. Okay. And let me see if I can change the angle of the top of that dresser. Take off that alpha lock. Because it shouldn't be curved going up like that. So I'll grab my polygonal tool. I think I'll first delete where I don't want. I think I'll do that first. The part I know I don't want there. I'll have to move those objects down, but that's okay. And I want to delete more. I think so. I think I want it to be a little bit more. So I'll delete this. And then I will add grab that color and fill it in. Oops, wrong color. Alright, so it's Alt. Alright, I still have this like crazy Windows, what is it called? Keyboard. My Apple one broke a while ago and I haven't replaced it with an Apple. Let's see. Okay. I haven't replaced it with an Apple keyboard. So I have been using a Windows one, but the keys don't line up exactly. Oh, and I have to fix the bottoms too. That's okay. I'm not too worried about that. But then I didn't have to pull everything down so much. I think I can mess with the snow globe better. Let's see. I think I can pull the snow globe up. Ooh, that's the wrong layer. Alright. How did I get to that layer? I didn't even ask you to touch that layer. I'm gonna lock this. I did not even ask for that. Alright, so objects, that was the layer I was supposed to be on. Allegedly. Alright. Remove that one. Okay. I don't even think that the other part of the globe is on there. It's not. Oh, neither is the picture in the frame. Oh, okay. So I'll have to move that down to match. Oh no! It also has part of the globe in there too, so I'll have to manually circle around it and then move it. Alright. Are we good? Okay, perfect. Now we need to adjust these objects so they'll actually fit onto the top of this dresser. So hopefully that should work. I think I still need to fix the globe though. Alright, good. Good? Are we okay? Did everyone survive? Alright, I'm going to put my bed back. Let's save. Woo! That dresser was exhausting and we're still not even finished with it. I have to do the top part. So let's go ahead and grab the top. I should have probably put that on a separate layer, but I didn't. So I'll have to go in and manually select it. That's okay. Let's go here. Alright, so let's select the part of the dresser we need to paint. Like the rest of it on top doesn't matter, that's on a different layer, and I'll make sure that this is on alpha lock again so that I'm not painting outside of there. I'm gonna grab this color and make it a little bit darker so we can start adding that shading. Alright. I'm going to add a little bit of a lighter color as well. Not there. I keep in mind at all times where the light's coming from. It's coming from that way, I need to be aware of that. And points, get a little bit lighter. Keep that in mind, and I'll do a little bit with the pencil. Maybe I'll take this color. So we know. And it doesn't need to be so dark though. Just do a little bit of a dab. It's not the color I want for some reason. Let's try again. Maybe it should be just a little bit darker than the other. It feels more red for some reason. That feels a little better. And let's see. Alright, I'm gonna leave the dresser. Hold on. I need to make some of this darker. Okay, let's see. I think a little bit darker down here. Why am I feeling like Bob Ross right now? I don't know, but all right. Let's see what else we can do. Perhaps we'll finish shading some of these objects. Just, I feel like to get them sort of, you know, completed, so we're not worried about it. At this point, you can kind of pick any area and just kind of do, you know, add your detail where you like. Start where you like, especially since there's just so many areas. Ooh, that feels super dark. That wasn't the right color. And let's see what we're gonna do with the box. And you want to pick colors that are like lighter and darker, so that you're, I mean, obviously if you pick the exact same color as the object, it's not gonna show. So you just need to fix like some lighter and darker colors to kind of play with there. Just little by little we can add some stuff. Also add I can probably add a little bit of really bright right here. Wrong shade. Lighter. let's see. The frame here. Let's get into that. Oops. Alright, pencil. I wanted to talk, but I'm so distracted by this painting that it's very challenging. Let's see. What can I mention? I finally this week have gotten back into JD's story, like in a real sense. I took off that month of May, and I don't know why I was so worried about taking some time off. I just felt like, oh no, like it's going to be the end if I take time off. Like, I don't know if you guys, and I think I did talk about this a little bit yesterday. If you've, or even the day before, I get distracted because I still was working on it yesterday all day. But I forgot which day I was recording, so that was Tuesday. And let's see. I was worried about taking time off because I felt like I was afraid of if I was gonna really get back to it, or if I wouldn't get the desire even to get back to it. And I think that scared me. I don't know why I would probably think that. Probably just because it's harder this time around than I thought it was going to be, because I was expecting it to get easier. And I don't know if you guys have ever worked on a long-term project, and you know, if you finish like the first lap and you're like, oh, okay, the second lap is going to be easier. And I came around to the second lap and it wasn't easier. I don't know if it was harder, but I think it probably is harder. I have more challenging scenes. There's a lot more going on. I think it's longer too. So yeah, I think I was taken aback a little bit by that part. And I don't know why I thought it was gonna, I just felt like, all right, I'm more experienced now. So because I'm more experienced now, that must mean it's going to be easier. And it wasn't. So I don't know. I don't know what it did to my psyche, but it definitely did something. And that probably was what scared me. I think that actually scared me, and I just was like, ugh. And so I was afraid that I wasn't going to enjoy, or that I was starting to like lose my steam, because it was more challenging and was taking equally as long seemingly to make progress. So what do you do when that happens? Well, I think you kind of do have to have a little bit of faith and trust that it is okay to take breaks. And I don't mean, obviously, it was a long-term break. It was over a month, like a month and a week, like or something like that. It was a minute. But when I started getting back, it was like a little bit of nerves, but ultimately I felt, like I know what I'm doing here. Like, I'm back to work. This is, project that I'm familiar with. I know what I need to do. There's no questions about what I need to do. I just have to do it. And a part of that, I think, was there was a little bit of relief to that. Just like, okay, I know what I need to do, so there's nothing to worry about. And I did get my steam back. I did get my enthusiasm back. I know I have a lot of work ahead of me, but I still feel motivated and inspired to get it done. Alright, cabinet looking pretty good. Let's get to this cushion over here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is find where that cushion is. Cushion, where are you? Here. Alright, so let's go ahead and alpha lock that. And alright, so where was I? It's just one of those things that you kind of have to like. And I was trying to like, oddly enough, I was trying to think of other people who have had like big, because for me, I don't know, this is not just like any project for me. It feels like very much like a calling. And so there's a little bit of, I don't want to say added pressure, but what is the right word is like a sense of urgency. Like, you need to get this done before you die. Like, it's important that you do this before you die. So that's how I feel about it. And it's like, all right, I'm on the second book and there's at least 7 more to go. I originally had divided up into 7 parts. Into 9 parts total. So if I'm doing the first 2, then I'll still have 7 more to go. But I've been thinking about not changing the length of the story, but dividing it into 12 parts instead of 9. But I have to see really how that works. I feel like I got the advice from another person, like in the industry. I'm not really sure what he does exactly, but he's like pitched before, and he's like, well, you have like you have more potential with it going into other mediums if you divide it up this way. So I listened to what he had to say, and it made sense to me. So I'm just thinking, if it makes sense, then maybe I should just do it. It will be the same like amount of images, but I guess each book would be a little bit smaller, so I can divide it into 12 parts. That might help. That's what I was trying to debate. Like, it could help me, like, so it wouldn't take as long potentially for each book, but then there'll be more books to do. So regardless, I feel like that's like the least of it. Regardless, I'm still gonna have to get the books done, but I do feel a sense of urgency. And so what I was trying to say is, I was like trying to think of like other people in history who have had like what they felt was a calling on their life to complete something, and if it was always an enjoyable process. Because I'm like, well, if it's like, sometimes I think like, well, this is something I feel called to do, so shouldn't I enjoy it all the time? And the truth is, like, when I look at people like someone like a Peter or Paul, in biblical kind of stories, no, like every part is not enjoyable. You can get a lot of fulfillment, I feel like, from something that you feel is a calling, but it doesn't necessarily mean every part is going to be like a cakewalk or something like that. Does anybody even use that term, cakewalk, anymore? I don't think so, but it's not going to be easy all the time, is what I'm trying to say. And I should expect these types of challenges to come up, like losing steam from time to time. Like, that can happen. and that's normal, and that's okay. And so I'm trying to, like, continue to find will in myself to just keep going, because I do feel like, and it was funny because I was watching that Jim Henson documentary, and I feel like I don't know like what his beliefs are or anything like that, but I do feel like how they were describing him was this, like, having a sense of urgency to get these projects done, because he had, like, essentially a calling on his life. Like, he wanted to see some things come, like he had a vision to bring these things that weren't currently in the world, like, out. And he did that, but it wasn't easy, and there must have been times where it wasn't enjoyable all the time. And I just think that's just to be expected, I guess. Sometimes it's going to be pain in the butt, but it's like a really fulfilling part to it as well. Like, there's parts that are like very, like, once you have a book and you can physically hold it, like, that's something that is just a whole different level. Like, that feels really good. All right, I'm gonna do the cabinet. Yes sir, cabby. All right, let's add some texture here. I think I'm gonna start with this guy. Have we already been in like an hour? How long has it been? Almost. I got 10 minutes. Wow. I only got 10 minutes left. I feel like I did nothing. I feel like I did absolutely nothing. But we got 10 minutes. I think I can get some more done. Next time I'll have to do a 2-hour, I think, because there's a lot more to do here. And you know what? I think I'll do this on a separate layer and make the clipping mask. It's going to be too challenging to try and, because I have too much of the dresser on the same layer. Alright, so let's make a clipping mask. Let's see, clipping mask. I can't see. Free clipping mask. Okay, there we go. That way I can just delete it when we get outside the boundaries. I think it's okay. All right. All right, so what I want to do is delete this. Excuse me. It's a coffee burp, that's so gross. All right, delete. Okay, let's get insider. Oops. I feel like I should do this. I think that will work better. Oops. Wait. A little bit darker, I think. So, this. All right. Polygonal Russell tool. Let's see, where's my brush? I want it bigger than that. Bigger. Bigger, bigger. It's so annoying that my brush, I can't see my brush. And this last corner. All right. I think I want to do it from this angle so that it can feel a little bit more accurate with that light coming in. Alright, we're adding detail. Gonna get those toys. I think I'll get inside the bookshelf and then we'll call it a day. Let's see. Because I don't want to spend forever on the small items. Let's see. Object view. Alright, so it's these two layers. Why aren't they on the same? Yeah, it's okay. Let's do one at a time. I'll follow up each of them. Let's save and zoom in. Alright, so there's a bit. Are these the books? Alright, so these are books and such. I feel like that doesn't need to be there. Alright, so let's start adding some texture here. Let's see. And let's see. I want to go ahead and Let's get the texture and all of these things. Something going on. I'm not sure. I feel like I should mix up some of these brushes, but I just don't feel familiar with them enough. Let's see. Oops. Crap. Alright, there we go. And let's get in a little bit darker in some spots. Okay. This one. Oh shit, I keep excuse my language. I keep messing with the wrong one. I keep picking the wrong thing. There we go. Here we go. Okay. Alright. A little bit darker on the bottom. So literally it's just like going in one by one and giving each one a little bit of a sense of depth. Hold on a second. I didn't really select that one very well, so I want to make sure that I have it fully selected. And make sure that I do actually select my brush instead of not doing that. And I want to make it a little bit lighter. I am working on a freelance children's book right now, and after I finish Jay's story number 2, I'm going to take a second break from the series and work on my first solo children's book. I've already written it. I'm pretty excited about it. It's based off of my own experiences, and so I'm excited to share it. I'm not going to tell you what it's about because I feel like there's nothing I've seen like it, and so I want to. It's really special to me, so I'm going to save it until it's out into the world, or until I begin my Kickstarter campaign for it. And I'm excited to see what happens, and we'll see how it goes, but that's coming in the works. I'm hoping I will start that campaign. I'm hoping to finish that book around Christmas time, so I can start the campaign around then and like release it early 2025. That's my hopes. We'll see what actually happens. But usually, I'm fairly okay at trying to figure out these types of things, like how long it's going to take me to do things. I don't know, sometimes I'm way off, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'm hoping to release it early next year. I do already have like some concept ideas, and I've designed some of the characters for it, so I'm excited to have my first children's book coming out in the coming months, and you guys will be the first to know about it as soon as that's available. Okay. Oh, I did it again. I keep doing that. But I would suggest, if you do have like a concept for a children's book idea, like, or you want to find a concept, I think looking into your own childhood is a good place to start. Just kind of like, what was life like when I was a kid? What did I want to have? Like, what was the struggle that I faced? Or what was the lesson I learned that was really impactful? I think those are like good places to start when you're thinking about children's books ideas. One thing I learned from this seminar once, I went to this it's a free online seminar, and they were talking about children's books. And one of the things that they say is like, the child should be the hero of the story. So you want to make sure that even if you're telling a story of like an adult or something, I think it's important that you have a character who is the star to be able to be that person that the children who are reading the book see themselves in. You want to have, even if it's an animal character, which I think that's totally fine as well. You can still have a character to be the protagonist who is somebody that the child can, feel like they resonate with. So it should be somebody that is like the child, and they should be able to do things like whatever they're discovering, they should be able to kind of defeat it on their own or accomplish it, because it's really about giving the kids that sense of like empowerment. So that made a lot of sense to me. It gave me some things to like, keep in mind. Especially for clients when they come to me for like they want a children's book illustrated, I can give them that type of tools and tips. Like, so they're not just writing for themselves now, but they're writing for the person that they were when they were a child. It's just something I think is helpful to kind of keep in mind. You can definitely have adult characters that the child looks up to. I think that's important to have. Okay, let's see. I think it's important when you're doing stuff like this, especially if you have a bunch of things on the same layer, don't get like, try your best not to get impatient with it and just stick with it, because you want to give everything the equal attention that it needs. So don't become impatient as you're working through these objects one by one. When you do have things like this that you need to illustrate, I think it's important just to continue to take your time. Okay, let's see what else. This is just like a box. Alright, so just added that by using that shift button. That really comes in handy. Let's see. Trying to find the right balance here. Some of these things I'll have to go over with like pencil too, just to give it more detail and stuff. And I'm realizing too, like, why it was so challenging for me to figure out when I was in the lasso tool or the brush tool is because now they both look exactly the same because this thing that's going on here. This second box is not even in the picture, I don't think, but it's alright. I'm just gonna keep it there because why not? Maybe it's something that the original illustrator forgot to put. It makes sense for it to be here for me, because why not? Alright, there's that. Da, ba, 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 ba. Okay. This feels like, hold on. Why is that so high? That's strange. Very strange indeed. Alright. Just want to delete this part. Alright. Save it. Alright, so let's go ahead. It's just about time for us to log out for today. But let's see. I still want to do some of this. I know I'm getting past my border there, but I can erase that. So what I'll do now is I'll just go in here and fix that up manually. I think this is like a paintbrush. That's what it looks like. And then this is like the bristly part. Almost there. Okay, this is, let's see. Oops, too big. Alright, and I put one last thing, even though you can't even see what this is because this is where that big bright light is. So I just going to, what would it be, or what could it be? What if it's just like a carton? It looks like a carton of milk. That doesn't make like, why would a carton, like why wouldn't it though? A kid would totally have just like a random carton of milk in a bookshelf just because they didn't want to clean it or forgot to throw it away or something. First I'm like, why would it be a carton of milk? And I'm like, hold on, of course it would be a carton of milk. Why wouldn't it be? Maybe I'll even draw on it. Let's see. Can just draw like a cow and it could just be our own little Easter egg. With like a little pink of course it's a cow. Why wouldn't it be? So we can just have that milk. Probably shouldn't be there, but it is. When you have kids, stuff is always where it shouldn't be. Maybe there's like the nutrition facts over here. Okay, so we just about got done with everything in the cabinet. We still have the dolls and the teddy bears to go, but I think we made good progress today. We got the dresser done, all the stuff around there, and the little what is it called? I don't know what those things are called that sit by the window. But I think that's pretty good for one day and for 1 hour of illustration. So that's going to be it for now. Let me open up my window and swap over here. Thank you so much for joining me today. We had I had a great time. I hope that you did too, and I hope that you got some good information from this. Hopefully that you're going to be illustrating your own children's books and be able to illustrate for clients. And I think that digital is an awesome way to go, especially now with all the tools that we have available. So I hope that this is helpful for you. So I will see you in the next one. But until then, be grateful, live balanced, be yourself. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.